So this is quite amazing. So this is Ali Velshi, and he's an MSNBC propagandist when it comes to things like the Ukraine war.
From Canada, should be deported.
He lied to you, bald-faced liar, and he's a bald-headed liar about the Ukraine war. And I called him out when he did it. He reported everything that the State Department wanted him to report in the way they wanted him to report it. And so he is a propagandist for war. But for some reason, just like Mehdi Hasan is, but for some reason, they love to tell the truth about Israel.
Well,
I don't know what that. I can't guess why that would be. But here he is, and I cannot believe that this segment got aired on MSNBC.
I can,
because this guy right now, I guarantee you, is going to be Mehdi Hasan. He's so let's watch it, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. He's going to tell you the truth about one of the most powerful lobbying groups in America. It's the AIPAC group, which is the lobbying group for Israel, which is why all the politicians are for Israel. And even though 80% of Americans are against Israel and in this war with Gaza, it's not a war. In their carpet bombing of Gaza, it's not a war. The government officials go along with it. Why? He's going to tell you why. Watch this. This is maybe the most amazing thing I've ever seen on MSNBC.
The American Israel Public Affairs Committee. It was incorporated in 1963. For 10 years prior to that, it was known as the American Zionist Committee for Public Affairs.
It was started in 1963, Kurt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got to be the most important thing that happened in 1963, right? No connections to their formation and the removal of a certain political figure in our history. Do you think, Kurt?
No. What is this, conspiracy time?
Do you think? No way that JFK was actually referring to this newly... Anyway, here we go.
The American Israel Public Affairs Committee. It was incorporated in 1963. For 10 years prior to that, it was known as the American Zionist Committee for Public Affairs. AIPAC calls itself America's pro-Israel lobby, and according to its website, it has over 3 million members across the country in regional chapters working to, quote, expand and strengthen the U.S.-Israel relationship, end quote. You may know AIPAC as being one of the biggest and most recognizable donors to many of the members of Congress in your state. But contributing to campaigns is a relatively new function of the organization. Before 20...
So, by the way, so they're one of the biggest donors to political campaigns. Guess where they get that money to donate to our political campaigns in America to control our politics?
Where?
They get it from the United States government.
What?
The United States government gives billions and billions of dollars to Israel, and then they use that money to buy our politicians.
Oh, synergy.
It's called synergy.
Yeah, they don't have to register as a foreign, what do you call it, influencer? Don't you have to register as a foreign, they're still domestic for some reason, aren't they?
They're considered domestic.
Yeah.
21, AIPAC did not endorse candidates nor give political contributions. Its focus was on lobbying elected officials, not actually electing officials. But in a dramatic shift in policy, AIPAC began directly funding candidates and spending big on races in 2021. AIPAC Political Action Committee, AIPAC-PAC, filed something called a Statement of Organization with the FEC just in time for the 2022 election cycle, where it spent $50 million, including both direct contributions to candidates and outside spending like TV advertisements. According to AIPAC, it donated money to 365 candidates from both parties, including every single member of both Democratic and Republican leadership in Congress. 109 Republicans who voted against the certification of the 2020 presidential election in America received campaign contributions from AIPAC.
Whoa!
All in all, AIPAC gave money to 342 members of the 118th Congress. The 2022 elections were the most expensive midterms in American history, with a total cost of $8.9 billion spent. Now, last year, AIPAC ranked 15th in total expenditure by a political action committee, according to data collected by Open Secrets. But take a look at the other funders that AIPAC is competing against for that title. Act Blue and Win Red. They are Democratic and Republican Party machines. Save America is Donald Trump's money-raising operation. The Conservative Club for Growth, Emily's List, focuses on electing Democratic women to office. All of the PACs on this list are massively domestic-focused ideological machines. AIPAC is the only organization in the top 20 whose interests are focused entirely on America's relationship to a foreign government. Now, let's take a look at who benefits from AIPAC's largesse. Here are the top 20 recipients in Congress, the House and the Senate, of AIPAC money in the 2022 midterm cycle, according to Open Secrets. They're members of both parties. They come from every corner of the country with varying levels of experience in Congress. The Democrat Glenn Ivey of Maryland tops the list. He beat out fellow Democrat Donna Edwards in Maryland's House primary after AIPAC poured millions into pro-Ivey advertisements and mailers. Edwards was running for a second stint in Congress after serving during the Obama administration, where she voted present, not even a no, on a number of pro-Israel resolutions. So the money poured in against her.
I just want to point out, this is Representative Richie Torres. He's on the top list of getting money from AIPAC. Our friend Jose Vega is running against him in the Bronx. So just so you know, he's going to need your help coming up in April. But anyway, here we go. Back to this.
Not even an endorsement from Nancy Pelosi could save her. Michigan Democrat Haley Stevens unseated Democratic Representative Andy Levin. Here's what Levin had to say about that.
I'm really Jewish, but AIPAC can't stand the idea that I am the clearest, strongest Jewish voice in Congress, standing for a simple proposition that there's no way to have a secure democratic homeland for the Jewish people unless we achieve the political and human rights of the Palestinian people.
AIPAC spent $4 million against Levin. He lost by 20 points. When Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, the only Palestinian American in Congress, was censured by the House in early November over what some lawmakers called her rhetoric around the Israeli-Hamas war, 22 Democrats joined Republicans in that censure vote. 18 of those Democrats received campaign funds from AIPAC in 2022, totaling more than $1.1 million.
So AIPAC brings Democrats and Republicans together to do horrible things. Who says there isn't unity in our politics? Here we go.
For these 6 of them, AIPAC was their top contributor.
Look at that.
A growing list of progressive lawmakers who are vocal in their criticism of the government of Israel and its policies and their support for Palestinian self-determination have inspired AIPAC to spend even more. As progressive lawmakers began calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, Slate reported that insiders expect AIPAC's 2024 spending to hit $100 million. In fact, United Democracy Project, which is a pro-Israel super PAC affiliated with AIPAC, is already spending money on attack ads against Democratic Representatives Jamal Bowman of New York and Summer Lee of Pennsylvania. Lee has already got a primary challenger, as do Cori Bush and Ilhan Omar. Pro-Israel donors have already signaled that they're eager to primary Rashida Tlaib and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Congresswoman Lee already overcame AIPAC's financial influence against her once. She tweeted criticisms of Israel's treatment of Palestinians in 2021, but as a candidate, she affirmed Israel's right to exist. But that's not good enough. AIPAC spent nearly $3 million in the primary alone to defeat Lee, and they almost did. She beat Stephen Irwin, who is third on the list of money given to candidates by AIPAC in 2022, by less than 1,000 votes. And if Congresswoman Lee wants to keep her seat in 2024, she's going to have to do it all over again. She joins me in studio after this break.
So I know why.
So what you know why he did this?
Yeah, and
why?
he's not going to get Hassan.
You don't think he's going to get Hassan for this? Why?
Mehdi Hasan should have just held out until the Democrats are losing more. Chuck Schumer already turned on Bibi.
He did. So now it's okay?
That's what I think. Bibi, they already wanted out because, it did harm Joe Biden quite a bit.
It's harming Joe, yes.
Hey, Bibi, could you stop slaughtering all the people so obviously it's getting harder to sweep up after you? And Bibi goes, go fuck yourself. We're donating to the Republicans because they'll let us. So AIPAC was giving more money to Republicans, and they're primarying all these squad losers that didn't say shit, the ones that voted for Iron Dome, and all the other. They're getting primaried anyway. So that's why it's officially okay. Obviously, what's going to happen is this whole genocide thing is going to be scapegoated on Bibi and his coalition at the end of the day.
So that's
what I think.
that's the plan. So the plan is to scapegoat Benjamin Netanyahu for all the genocide that Joe Biden is funding in Gaza right now, and so they can try to get their voters back.
The worse it gets
and so
for
this
Democrats,
is so this is to make it look like, oh, the Democrats are actually the enemies of Israel and AIPAC. That's what this is.
His theme was, it's not bad they have this much influence over all of our politics. It's bad that they're giving more to the Republicans and they're not giving it to the Democrats. And in fact, working against the Democrats now. So that's where that marriage is breaking up.
Okay, good. That's Kurt. Very well. Good, nice.
Dude, I did the Seller podcast. Nobody watches it, I know, but I like doing it. And they were all making their predictions about what's going to happen. I go, Bibi's going to be the one that they put. Somebody wants Bibi out for a long time. Like somebody in the deep in the shadow government don't like him no more.
Yeah,
he's going to be the perfect guy.
Well, he's very unpopular in Israel.
Yeah. So what does that tell you? Like, they're not going to preserve him. And what are we going to do once this is all sorted out? And it's going to be like horrific even to people.
So that's why he's allowed to do this.
Yeah, Mehdi didn't wait his turn like Velshi did.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So that's why, because now...
You think Velshi would risk that?
So no, he would not risk that. So he got the okay to do this.
Yes.
Okay.
Democrats are losing horribly. Why else? Like that Michigan thing with the undecided vote. You know,
that scared the hell out of him.
Bill Maher is mystified how it could have happened, but they're not mystified. They know what's going on.
Hey, come see us do a live stand-up show. We're going to be in Stockholm, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, London, Oslo, Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, Cortland, New York, Oakmont, Pennsylvania, El Paso, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Edmonton, Alberta, Vancouver, British Columbia, and Denver, Colorado. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets.